In 2021, Squid Game caused a chain reaction of explosive sales in multiple businesses. Vans saw a sudden 7,800% spike in sales for their white slip-ons. At the same time, the language platform Duolingo also had a 76% increase in new users interested in learning one language, Korean. Squid Game is Netflix's most-watched franchise, with Season 1 achieving 265 million views in its first 91 days. With its second season sticking close behind already with 126 million viewers in just 11 days. It's insane to see the impact of one show on different global markets. There must be a secret formula to this success. So, we've watched about 15 hours and 37 minutes of Squid Game and found 3 masterclass business lessons every small business should follow. Plus, the series of factors leading up to 2019 that contributed to Squid Game's success after over 10 years of waiting. Without further ado, let's unpack each of them together. Business lesson number 1, the product concept. This refers to the core idea behind your product. What is it all about? Squid Game's concept all starts with its own name. But did you know Netflix almost changed the title to Round 6? It was meant to refer to the 6th and final game in the show, or the Squid Game. Round 6 was supposed to create intrigue. But let's be real, it sounds kinda bland. Netflix soon realized that it would also give away the mystery of the story. The show's creator, Hwang Dong-hyuk, pushed for them to change it back to the original, and thank goodness Netflix listened. Squid Game sounded more cryptic and intriguing. 2 very ordinary words that, when put together, seem like an odd combination. It makes you go, wait, what does that mean? It plants a unique image in your head immediately, essentially drawing in a lot of curious viewers. And then there's the format, games. Simple childhood games, but with a dark twist. It may have Korean names in the show, but each country has its own version of these games. They're nostalgic and relatable, but the genius part about these games is the stakes. Each game gets more intense as the more players die, the more the jackpot prize adds up. Viewers found it easily binge-worthy. You would be curious what the next game might be. Just like how the players in the show wanted to play one more game, the real-time audience would also feel the same way in wanting to watch one more episode. The amazing thing is, having a unique product concept doesn't mean it has to be a completely new idea. It just has to be slightly different. Put your own spin on an already existing idea. Deadly survival games were not new in the media. But for the TV scene in 2021, Squid Game was a refreshing new take. Why? Because the creator added his own twist to it by combining the survival theme with childhood games. He took something that had already worked before and made it his own. On the other hand, if you do start off with an entirely new concept, you should keep in mind that you're opening your business up to a greater risk. It can be a double-edged sword. Yes, it will definitely be unique, but you won't know if it will actually attract customers or if they'll even like it. Meanwhile, if you focus on a product concept that has been done before and reshape it with a slightly different vision, you reduce your risk of failure and at the same time help your business differentiate from the competition. Squid Game stood out because it was different from what the mainstream viewers had ever seen before. Well, what did they see? This leads us to business lesson number 2, a strong visual identity. This is about creating distinctive visual elements to represent your small business, like your brand's own signature. Squid Game was a master at this, from the wardrobe down to the set design. Viewers were fed with extremely distinctive colors and shapes. Their iconic circle, triangle, and square combination was instantly recognizable. For international viewers, it reminds them of PlayStation controls connecting with the game element of the show. But for Korean viewers, it's a clever nod at the title itself. The circle represents what looks like the letter O in the Korean alphabet. The triangle represents J, and the square represents the M. Together, it stands for the initials of Ojingeo Game, which is Squid Game's Korean name. These shapes were used on the game's calling cards, on the guards' masks to refer to their rank, and the 3 actual shapes drawn in the actual Squid Game. A 2015 study in the Journal of Consumer Research even found that how circular or angular a logo is can powerfully influence a customer's attitude towards a brand. If the logo is more circular, it signals softness and comfort. If the logo was more angular, a brand could be seen as bold and daring. Squid Game balances both. They set out to give the impression of the comfort people would find in innocent childhood games, while at the same time telling you there's something more bold and exciting in the story. Super interesting. And that's just the shapes. For the colors, Squid Game costume designer Cho Sang-kyung shared that the players' green tracksuits and the guards' pink jumpsuits were meant to create a striking visual contrast. When people saw it, they would stop in their tracks. If you need proof of it working, just look at the countless Squid Game TikToks that stand out because of the pink and green color combination. The players' tracksuits were also a nod to a classic school gym uniform, so it helps the viewer easily imagine themselves as if they were in the game. What would they do if they were in this situation? All these visual elements, the shape, the color, and the overall design, help consumers feel more connected and attached to a brand. And most importantly, memorability. People will instantly recognize and recall your brand the moment they see certain visual elements related to your products or services, just like how people associate green tracksuits with Squid Game, or how this shape reminds people of Disney. The more distinct your visual identity is, the easier it is for people to remember your brand. And that kind of memorability, it's what drives people to keep coming back. But without this third important business lesson, it could be a waste of effort if you launched your product at the wrong time. Business lesson number 3 is all about timing. This is about launching at the perfect moment when you know for sure that your audience is ready for your product or service. What made Squid Game even more successful was the when. The script was shelved for 10 long years because of rejection after rejection. The creator Hwang Dong-hyuk pitched it to multiple studios and even actors, but they just wouldn't do it. Until, in 2019, Netflix Asia exec Kim Min-young saw its potential. The Netflix Asia division was still new at the time, and Kim Min-young needed something that just wasn't another English-language show. When she read the script of Squid Game, she thought this was it. She was sure Squid Game would be a hit with the Korean market and the rest of Asia, which was their main target audience. What she didn't expect was how Squid Game would blow up worldwide. Kim Min-young was shocked. So why did Squid Game become so popular globally? Well, a huge factor that contributed to its success was the increasing global interest in Korean content thanks to K-pop and K-dramas. In fact, the Korean content industry generated about 6 to 10 billion US dollars from years 2016 to 2019. 2019 was also the same year that the Korean film Parasite took the world by storm. Like the Squid Game script, it had similar themes of social class, poverty, and inequality. These themes strongly resonated with people all over the world that the film even won the most Oscars in the 2020 Academy Awards. Audiences were becoming more and more open to Korean content. So when Squid Game was finally released in 2021, all the pieces just fit into the right place at the right time. By then, the global K-content interest had hit an even bigger boom, becoming a $12.4 billion industry, even surpassing the revenues of their major export items. Perfect timing really just means you have to know your audience. Dig deep into their problems and desires. How can your product address both? So, to sum everything up, from looking at the case study of Squid Game, we can observe that to build a successful brand, you may need these 3 key ingredients: a good concept, an impactful visual identity, and the right timing. But of course, it's never easy. There can be a lot of obstacles along the way, and it can feel discouraging. Squid Game even had to take a back seat for 10 years, waiting for the right timing. You may need to make a tough decision whether you want to give up or keep going. What would you have done? Would you have waited a whole decade? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to know more about Hwang Dong-hyuk's journey, the screenwriter of Squid Game, just click on this video. If you liked this video, hit the follow button so you won't miss more new videos coming soon.